So last week, all the giants, well, big giants, small giants, medium giants of Europe met in the semi-finals of various UEFA competitions. Chelsea, small giant, one leg in the final of the Conference League. Manchester United, medium giant, one leg in the final of the Europa League. Tottenham, medium giant, one leg in the final of the Europa League. Inter Milan, we don't yet know, but they're big giants. Barcelona, we don't yet know, but they're also big giants. PSG, we know, one leg in the final of the Champions League. And the mighty Arsenal, one leg out of the competition. Bringing back all of the conversation again. Is Arteta the man to take us over the line? Arsenal, the banter club. Will Arsenal ever win a trophy? Arsenal always wildering, or I don't know the terminology, wildering, bewildered. Anyways, did they all melt under pressure? All of this and more is what we are going to be discussing in this episode of ROP, Run of Play Podcast, where we discuss all things football, but from the perspective of our teams, Manchester United and the Arsenal. I'm your guy, Dr. Toves. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And as usual, join me and welcome our co-hosts, Mr. Johnny Boy, fellow Arsenal fan. How are you feeling today, my guy?
I'm not buoyant at all. I won't even lie to you. Started the week with a little bit of hope, thinking we're going to do something against PSG. But our hopes got dashed, and then this weekend again we lost again. So it has not been a good week for Arsenal fans all over the world. But new week, new hope. So hopefully this week turns out to be a better week.
Arsenal fan and hope. Next season
It's the hopes that you.
is the hope. They say that kills Arsenal fan. And you've already heard his voice. The rival, Mr. Hater, wearing his jersey today, even though he lost shamelessly. Mr. Jude. How are you feeling today, Jude?
I'm feeling good. What a good week. At least my enemies cannot laugh. They told me Naki. I knocked them.
Nice one. Since you're the one that is smiling so far, like genuine happiness, not just laughing because we are bantering, but like deep joy. I know today's result in the Premier League does not mean anything to you, right? But how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
3-0 is greater than 4-3. That's
Ooh.
all I can say. So I'm feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
I expected them to do more, but I'm feeling good, and hopefully we don't go and consider any two goals. That's the problem that I'm looking at. But it's a great week. One more Amorim out is reducing, so who manage that one for now?
Are you going to win it? Are you going to win the competition?
It's a 60-40 chance.
Okay, so you
So
take
60
Man
for
United as the
United.
favorite, isn't it? They should be the favorite.
They're not favorites, but they win.
Your favorite then. If it's 60-40, then you think that Man United are the favorite.
That's my own view, right? But
Mhm.
general view is that Tottenham, if we're going to meet Tottenham in the final, they probably won us this season. I think 3 out of 3 that they've met us, right? So this is the fourth time we're meeting. So it's the same thing like I told Arsenal people. You beat them in the group stage doesn't mean that you win them in this thing. So that's the goal.
Exactly. Now, but
Confirm.
obviously, there's at some point statistically, as in, it's going to you have to at least win once. They can't win
We
you
have to,
all
and
four
that's
times.
the important one that is coming on.
Exactly, it's a final.
Another
Plus,
one, let us.
I'm sure that Man United fans will say that Amorim is a better coach than Ange. He's won the Portuguese league. Portuguese league is stronger than the Scottish league or Australian league. Surely you should be able to slap him in the final.
I,
I know final is a 50-50 game, but with your team, the amount of Maguire balling very well in the Europa League,
like,
showing skills and things, surely you can count on him
I
to
think Casemiro, the
so
forgotten
give them.
kid. Casemiro, the forgotten kid.
exactly.
Casemiro remembered his Madrid potentials and started unlocking them. So
Hmm.
yeah, we are moving well. We're moving well. Hopefully, everybody's on point. Let's finish with Thursday first before we look at the final because this
Okay,
Thursday is very
but well, for
crucial.
Thursday, how are you feeling?
I feel like we can do it, but Manu is unpredictable. That's the only thing I can say. But I'm feeling like we can do it. That 3-0 will give them advantage, but the 3-0 will also make them feel more relaxed. That's what I'm skeptical of. If Manu is not relaxed and they come out the way they came out at Bilbao's home and will secure one or two goals early, then the game is sealed. I don't think a Leon pullback will come. This is the first time we are leading in a tie
Hmm.
before the second leg. Normally, we take it to second leg at Old Trafford and then win. So this time we are changing history. Let history not change on top of our head. And then we'll not see 3-3. And then penalties will not out. It won't be a laughing. It will be a laughing stock for years to come. So my enemies will not smile. That's all I want.
Fair enough, but obviously, Amorim has been saying that you guys are focused on the Europa League. If your manager is saying stuff like that, and even in the match against Brentford, they rested a lot of players, they played lots of kids, so that shows that he's taking it serious. Surely that should give you confidence. I'm going into the game on Thursday, no? Plus, you're already 3-0 up. He said 3-0 is better than 4-3. Surely
I
that
was
should be
looking for
better.
one more goal. If you know I was looking for one more goal that last Thursday, that one more goal would have given you that confidence that 4-0 is too far for
Hmm.
I
them.
agreed
Because I
you.
expected them to win in the second half, but it seems like these guys changed their formation. I sat back and wanted to counter, but Man U couldn't break through in that second half. Second half was just, we played rubbish through, and the second half it was just like youthful game.
Hmm.
So that's where my fear is like they could come in and score an early goal. Once they score one, mine will be on that tension. They score two. That 3-2 is very shaky. 3-2 at 3-2, anything can happen. But I'm hanging on that confidence that we will also bore them. So it's Old Trafford. We'll
Hmm.
qualify. That's just the confidence there. It's Old Trafford. We're 3-0 up and we're going to qualify. That's what
Right.
I'm hanging on.
And Jenny boy, what did you feel after that game on Thursday? What was your feelings? Because I will tell you that I was not happy at all. I did not like seeing that scoreline. If it was 1-0, I'll be okay. If it was 2-0, I would have managed. But three, surely the tie is kind of
Yeah,
over,
first
no?
half.
I
Yeah, but
was
you're coming
to be
back to Old
honest,
Trafford.
I was so disappointed in Bilbao because I expected more of Bilbao this season. I think there was a history they said on the by the commentator said that's the first time they're conceding more than 2 goals or so at home this season, both in Europe and in the league. So it's not just so mine is the first team to actually come to that stadium and score 3 goals. Nobody has scored more than I think 2 goals in that stadium. And not only that, like I think I've told you this about Dr. Tobe that I wouldn't go for. I know I've been linked with Nico Williams, but I think I've said that I would not go for Nico Williams simply because the Premiership is different from Spanish league, and I don't trust him. He's still to me, he's still a work in progress. What Arsenal needs is a ready-made player. So I keenly watched him that game, and he gave the ball every time he had the ball. He literally gave it
Hmm.
to Manu. So it was as if he was playing for United. I was at the point I thought that he was putting on
We'll
they
sign him in the
Man usually
summer.
puts on red. So I was thinking maybe he thought he was playing for United because everything he did, he literally gave the
Hmm.
ball to United. And what annoyed me is that I think Dalo, who played right back for United that day, was it Dalo? Also got a yellow card. And I was expecting him to like take him on because once a player that is defending against you has a yellow card, that's your cue to like attack that player. Because
Hmm.
that player will be so careful not to tackle you again. But what did he do? He kept on giving away the ball. It was his elder brother Inaki that was actually the danger man for
Danger
Bilbao.
man. Yeah.
Bilbao really disappointed me. And then to make matters worse, they went to collect a red card again. So not only did they lose 3-0, I know that's part of this why they lost, but like now that guy, which is one of their main defenders, is going to miss the second leg. So already they're already losing one of their key cogs. And 3-0, like you said, they have to do the scoring. They cannot
Yeah.
allow mine to score first. They have to do the first scoring because if United scores first, that's the game is done. To me, I think the tie is actually done, to be honest with you. Because I don't see, in as much as United have their own flaws, I don't see how Bilbao scores three
We are
zero.
underdogs. We are underdogs, please.
I don't see any way Bilbao scores 3 goals at Old Trafford without United scoring 1 goal. I don't
Hmm.
think there's anything that scared United from scoring, at least in Europe this season at Old Trafford. I
Trafford.
can't remember any team that's done that. So That doesn't all go well
Yeah.
for Bilbao. So to me, I feel like you said, I think United is already in the final. Team I'm actually even more scared of that might not get to final is actually Tottenham because the Bodo Glimt that at home, they are very strong. They beat Lazio there 2-0. I think they beat Porto there
Hmm.
as well with a heavy score. So, and they beat, I think it was Mourinho's Roma. I think it was last season or so. At that same because they play on synthetic grass. They don't play on like natural grass, and
3-1.
their
Yeah.
stadium is
That's
small.
a 3-1.
So it's a different ball game. And that goal Tottenham considered in the last minute, I think it really, really, really gave ball to Bleed. And if you notice, most of their players
Hmm.
didn't play that game. They were suspended. Their skipper, their best player, so now they're going to return for the second leg. So in as much as you were saying Tottenham is one leg, I wouldn't say they
It's
are
still one
maybe
leg.
maybe it's one toe. Maybe their big toe is final. But not one leg. So but
Hmm.
I don't know if both meet in the final, I don't know. It's like picking between two devils. Anybody that wins, fine. To be honest with you, I can care less because I feel two of them are
Yeah,
probably going to the
exactly. I'm not.
final.
If we saw and I go to the final, I know I'm not watching that match. I know that because I don't
Ah,
want.
because
No, I'm not going to
you know,
watch it. I'll just check.
any of
I
them
will
that
just
wins
check the scores
exactly any
and
of
hear
them wins
them.
the
Why?
final, I won't be
Someone
happy.
hesitate.
I won't be
It's
happy.
goal
So
upon goal.
I can't support one person. No, I
Nah, I'm
cannot.
not
I'm not.
interested.
Support
Yeah,
No.
because
Man
if,
U
when you
now.
watch football match, unconsciously you'll be saying, "Okay, you guys score, you guys score." I don't
Yeah,
want.
you
I don't want to
know,
say you guys score to Man United. I don't want to say you guys score to Tottenham. So no,
at
I'm not
all.
rooting. I'm not going to watch that game at all.
Exactly.
Tottenham is
So
your arch rival now. So Man
Yes.
U is just a free. Like we're not
No,
United
even.
mine
is
is also a rival.
United is my arch rivals too.
Well,
We are not.
exactly.
We are not on the same level.
You. That's what you think.
You,
That's
but
what
I
you
said,
think.
you, but the bigger right now. You say you're bigger.
You're a big giant.
You're just playing in big
So,
competition. And then what's so funny is
bigger.
that if United or Spurs wins the Champions League, England might have
Mhm.
6 spots in Europe
Europa
next season.
League. Yeah.
In Champions League next season, we
Hmm.
have 6 spots. We already have five guaranteed now. So
Yeah.
That's
that's
Is
good.
it? Is it? Is it not that are they not going to knock one person out? They'll just knock one
no, they're
person out.
not
I
going.
don't think
They're
they
not
can.
going to. What I think what they said is that
We already
one of the
guaranteed
teams will not have
five.
to play. The 15 will not have to play qualifiers to enter Champions League, but five teams are going to be guaranteed from England.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think they said the six
Hmm.
team. So maybe the person that finishes fifth in Premiership will have to go through qualifiers because the Champions Europa goes automatic to
Europa
Champions
will
League.
make it true.
Yeah,
So
fair enough, fair enough. Speaking of Champions League, before I come to you, Johnny Boy, because it's like we are going to dominate the rest of the of the episode, right? But before I come back to you, let's start with Jude. Jude, let's start from Barcelona, Inter Milan. I see your joy. I see how I killed it. I'm joking. We're not talking too much about those guys. How did you feel watching the Arsenal PSG game? And
Uh,
what do you think? Where do you think Arsenal got it wrong?
Sincerely, I'm not a hater in this point because I was rooting for an all English, like three competitions, all English to win. But at the same time, some part of me do not want Arsenal to win because because of the I don't want you to win trophy because of your
Hmm.
mouth. I will not rest for maybe the next 5 years.
Ditto, ditto.
So
bad
to me,
belly.
yeah, I expected you to win PSG. I just felt like the final will be tougher for you and you will lose it, which is more painful and sweeter for me.
Hmm.
So PSG to me, hmm, it was a very, very I think the more thing I would say is like I don't know if you guys underrated PSG and they took you by surprise, right? They took you in that first few 20 minutes. They had some clear open like chances to kill the game, but they were
We
also
took
like
just 30 minutes.
so I think after that 25, 30 minutes, you guys took the ball, but now they were more like PSG has changed, like they've changed a lot. They are now not that open system play, people that you can pierce through easily and beat the midfield and go. That's like they walk in the ball. They play like Atletico, similar kind
Hmm.
of football, like two people on you, two people on the next person, like they run together, all those kind of
Hmm.
stuff. And their
They're
fullbacks,
well coached. They're well coached. You
their
can see.
fullbacks are doing what I think Amorim is trying to do. So that you see those two fullbacks going up and the defense is falling back and all those stuff. You guys it will be more easier for Arsenal to beat a team that attacks, that just plays like counter or attack football, like direct attack, just like Madrid and the rest. Madrid, Man
Well, PSG
City,
did that. PSG
Liverpool.
did that.
So PSG is more. when they're attacking, right, you see that Hakimi is already there, Mendes is already up with them. Do you understand? Whereas those other teams, they are fullbacks. You won't see Alaba going up front. You won't see the what's his name? Uh what's this guy's name from from Uruguay? Because he's the one that
Valverde.
right back, Valverde, to go up front. They'll probably just come a little bit up. They'll keep a high line defense. Do you understand? But PSG chokes you. So that way, even if you collect the ball, somebody else is already choking you. So that's where I feel like Arsenal really underrated them. And some of your players were not up to the game that day. I don't know if it's because Partey was missing. I think it was only Declan Rice that was showing up. Declan Rice was the only person that had like the energy to push up front, push the ball up front, do most of the work. Saka to be a tough one against Mendes. Like Mendes would be a tough one to beat in that wing. So I feel like you people will be more better off playing, trying to break from inside
Hmm.
instead of
Before we even talk about like what to do next, right? Let me ask Johnny Boy because Johnny Boy was 85% sure that even without Thomas Partey, we are going to beat PSG. I said without Thomas Partey, it's going to be 50-50, but he said 85%. So with that expectation, first of all, what gave you that expectation? Knowing
Because
PSG as you know them, and then after the loss, how did you feel? I know you're going to say Ateta should be sacked. We'll get there as well. But before we get before we talk about Ateta being sacked or not, like what gave you that confidence pre, and how did you feel after you saw the loss, or you even the loss, not even just the loss, like the gameplay and how the game was panning out?
first of all, I expected my manager to have learnt his lessons. Merino is not. I didn't. I won't lie to you. I never expected him to play Merino as midfielder. I never did. I thought he was going to maybe play Zinchenko or with somebody like somebody else bringing the middle or something. I never expected him to play Merino, knowing fully well that Merino has been useless in the home midfield. I expected him to learn from last season. Remember last season he did the same mistake against Villa. He brought in Havertz to the middle and he cost us in a crucial state of season. I expected him. Oh, he has learned his mistakes. If somebody is striving a position, you don't move him away from that position
Yeah, but
because
you say
somebody
that
else is.
Trossard had scored like three in the
Yeah,
last
but
two games before
yeah,
PSG.
but but at the same time, PSG had lost the weekend, right, with their full strength squad, and then there
Mhm.
was a stat that said PSG has considered about 35 or 40% of their goals from set pieces. So I was expecting, okay, here's a team that is known for set pieces, right, which is Arsenal, going up against a team that is not known for defending or tackling set pieces. Whereas, okay, this is a perfect match made in heaven. So I was also saying, party or no party, I still expected Arsenal with the hunger, knowing fully well that their season depended on this game. Both the coach, the players, this game depend because the league is gone. We all know that, right? Even now,
Mhm.
second place is not even sure for Arsenal again. So
Yeah.
I expected them to take the game seriously. And then the way Arsenal started, I was shocked. Like at the point, I thought PSG was where it was at home because for the first 25, 30 minutes, Arsenal didn't even get the ball. Like PSG were just tapping. Dembele was like Messi on the field. Like Dembele was on the playing left, playing right, playing middle. Dembele was everywhere. So he had the free reins. And then I think this is the first person I saw that gave Timber a tough time was that Kvaratskhelia. My God, every time he got the ball, like Timber had to be so aggressive with him. That was the only way he could defeat that guy. Timber had to be extra aggressive, and he was lucky to not give away a penalty. What just saved him because that guy he made a mistake. He dived after the contact had happened. That was the mistake he made. If he had dived when he was being held, maybe the referee might have given a penalty. But he dived immediately. Timber let go of him. So but that was the first guy. And then Arteta, that's my biggest issue with Arteta. Arteta just knows one plan, and if that plan doesn't work, he's like clueless. So if his plan A doesn't work, he doesn't know how to switch it up and say, okay, you know what? Let's go three at the back. You know what? You, Tierney, come, go and play left wing. Or you come, Saka, go and play left. If since you're not having a joy with Mendes, why don't you go to Hakimi's place and then Martinelli, you go and face Mendes. Let's see whether that. Like he's so rigid to the point that he doesn't even try to like change. That's his, like see what's his name? Enrique now. That's it. That's it. That's the good thing about being experienced and meaning something. You know, you can tweak things. At a point, Dembele was like I said, Due started Due and Kvaratskhelia at the time they swapped. Kvaratskhelia went to the right, Due went to the left. Dembele started in the middle. Sometimes you see him on the right, sometimes you see him on the left. But as now, if Saka is on the right, he will die on that right till the end of the game. If Martinelli is on the left, Martinelli will die on the left. Like there's no, flexibility about Arteta, and that to me, I'm sorry to say, in as much as I'm praying for us not to qualify, but I'm still over the period that I do not see how Arsenal is going to
Ateta
beat
in.
PSG. The only option we have, like I mentioned, that PSG is very bad when it comes to, and that is what I was saying that shocked me in that game. PSG is very bad with set pieces. I expected us Arteta's plan, you know what? Let us try to get free kicks, corners. But after I think that game we had like 4 corners or so in the whole match.
We can't blame him now. Your
And
set
also,
pieces are
please,
poor
can
for the
Arteta
last
stop? Can Arteta tell Odegaard to stop taking free kicks? I beg. I'm done of seeing Odegaard taking free kicks. I'm
You
done.
just you just said he's stubborn. So why do you think he's going to stop it?
Like he has to stop it, or Rice should just say, you know what, I'm going to be taking free because Odegaard takes free kick, he doesn't even pass the first guy. So what is the point of taking the free kick? Like the only free kick, the free kick that what's his name, Rice took, we scored, though it was an offside goal, but we scored from the free kick, and
Right.
Rice
So
had scored two free kicks the previous game, wonderful free kicks, because he disobeyed the managers. Because apparently Saka, it was supposed to be Odegaard, but Saka told Rice to take it if he wanted to, and Saka Rice took it and scored. So that's a
mm.
little bit of, and now our goalkeeper now has turned to a defender because he's he's never at the post. If he's never Rice never at the post again. Now, if you notice, he's always
But it
where
was never at
Saliba.
the post. This is where I'm sorry. I'm just sorry to cut you. This is where I'm going to
Yeah, no
come in
problem, no
because
problem.
yes, I know that we lost. Right, they lost. Everyone is on the same page with the loss. But some of the other narrative that has been coming out in between is what I cannot take. And the funny thing is, the people that are switching this narrative are the ones that be calling other people flip flops. So let's start from number one. When Ateta first came in, Ateta used to tweak things every week. People used to say it's a tinker man, it's a tinker man, it's a tinker. I've ever also heard you, Johnny Boy, once upon a time saying it's a tinker man. Now,
Yeah.
Ateta decided to be stubborn, not to change anything again. You guys are saying it's too stubborn. So which
No, but
one?
at the same
Choose
time,
one.
but at the same time, even his mentor Pep switches things. So if you're trying to copy the
But
Pep
he was
model,
switching things, and you guys said he was switching it too much. Now, he
no,
don't want to change
exactly,
again. He don't want
but
to
it's
switch
balance.
again.
It's balance. You cannot just stick to one side. You have to be balanced. That's what makes
He's been working
that's
now.
what
It's
makes
just the
Mourinho
same.
and Ferguson being top coaches, right? The
I know
ability
that's
to
number one.
blend,
hmm
and that's what we want for
That's
Arteta.
number
You're able to blend.
that's number one. The number two for me is all of us have been watching Arsenal play this season in the league, right? We've been watching them play this
Very
season in the
poor.
league. We know, yes, there are some big wins there, like slapping Manchester City, slapping Manchester United 2-0 once upon a time, all of that stuff. There are those kind of performances in there. Crystal Palace 5-0, 5-0 in the space of 2 to 3 days. But overall, we know that this kind of dead performance is there, right?
All season.
So that's why
All
I did
season.
not have the confidence. Even against Real Madrid, the goals masked over some of the
Yeah, it
play
did.
in
It
the
did.
first
It did.
leg,
It did. It did.
right?
It did. You're
If
right.
if 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 the Mbappe were clinical, then Vinicius were on their day, they would have smoked
The
us
second
in
leg
the
was
first
much
15
better.
minutes as well, right? But yeah, so for the PSG one, without Partey, I'm like, it's going to be, that's why I said it's 50-50 because yes, Partey helps us to dominate the midfield, help us to push the game forward. But our problem, as I said in the last episode, our problem is that we are not clinical because
Yes.
I'm sure that Martinelli is going to get a
Martinelli had
one-on-one
two
chance,
chances. Two chances.
but he is never. Everybody knows how Martinelli is going to what he's going to do. Is one on one. We know he's just going to try to bend it in the far corner. It has not worked once. I know it worked against like Courtois, but that's the game was already done, right? But it has not worked more than one, 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
the entire season. So that's the only problem for me. Like, why didn't he? Yes, I understand. Like Trossard would have, like I said, he scored 3 in the last 2 games, right? So he should have maybe put Trossard on the left, brought Ethan one area or something. They should have done something different, but he did not do anything different. Again, I was not surprised. Looking at the bench, I already knew that there's not going to be any subs in that match. Arteta does this thing every week. If the bench is not the people that he like, it's regular people, them Calafiori to bring on, or Ben White to bring on, or Trossard to bring on, nobody is coming on. The other people, anyone that's coming on will be like 87, 88 minutes. I already knew that's what's going to happen. But this is my main problem with Arteta is that he always plays the boy down to the ground. Since we started this Arrow Run of Play podcast, I've been saying this in all season. He doesn't rest players. He doesn't rotate players. The players are not robots. You can't expect them to run the amount of running they do, and expect them to be able to be clinical again at the end. They are tired. The game against Bournemouth today, you can see the players are finished. Even him in his post-match conference said the players are tired. But guess what is going to happen again? He will play exactly the same team again for 90 minutes against PSG and expect for a miracle. Expect a
And
miracle.
and
That's what
just
When
just to
when
buttress your point, it all leads back to what the summer and January transfer window. That's it. That's to me. That's what it leads
exactly.
back
That's why I
to.
gave it 1.5. You gave it a 3. Even but that's even the thing. Even if he assign more people, he will still like if his guys are not there, he's not going to play them. So it's still we come back to the same thing. When the system works, it is fine. But when the system is not working, it is in shambles. Do I think that we're going to go through? No, I don't think we're going to go through. It will be a miracle if we go through. So next episode,
Me
you might
too.
not see me in this podcast because I cannot stay here with Jude
you will
and
be looking
Sheon
for
T.
fun.
Sheon T will be back. I don't want to be here when somebody are going to be bantering me because like play they like Sean said last week, they want to use Manchester United want to use backyard
I'm telling
to
you,
come
big
back into
backyard, oh, big
Champions
one,
League. You
big
know,
one.
Backyard
you
to
know,
enter
they
UEFA.
use FA
Backyard
Cup to
to
enter Europa League. Now they want to
I
use
push,
Europa
I
League
push
to enter
Chelsea,
Champions
I
League.
push Chelsea to Conference League.
I
Now they
swear.
want to push maybe not Forest or Chelsea again. Might be Chelsea again. Though.
Yeah. They now
They
come out
can
and
play
said, "Oh,
qualifiers.
we were rubbish. We finished 14, 15, 16, but won a trophy and with the Champions League," and which will
trophy
be true.
matters.
Which will be true because no matter what we finish in the table, we will say Champions League, also in the Champions League. But it does not mean that they're still not rubbish. Let's put that out there first of all.
We're
Okay.
not.
But anyways, we'll have that talk when the
We'll
time
wait
comes.
till May
Yes.
25th. Not now.
So what if you had Ateta's phone number, Johnny Boy, what are you going to tell him to do differently in this PSG return leg?
So first of all, I wouldn't go guns blazing because at the end of the day, it's still 1-0. And thank God there's no away goals rule again. So theoretically, I know they're leading 1-0, but to me, it's still goalless draw. So if you
Yeah,
guys
sorry,
can keep it,
sorry to cut you. I just remember something now. We were saying about the first 20 minutes of the first leg. I feel that was the game plan because PSG is always attacking. So if you watch
yes.
even the first goal, Arsenal defenders were very, very compact. They did not even go and attack Cavara when he had
They
the
didn't even
ball
close,
because
they didn't close down the spaces. Yeah.
exactly because that was the instruction. It was after like the first 20, 25 minutes, the Arteta probably told them to like spread out. That's when they actually spread out. So I think he might want to do the same thing again. But yeah, that's what you're saying. Continue.
Yeah, I wouldn't go guns blazing because PSG, in as much as I know they lost to Liverpool, but we all saw what they did to Liverpool. Like they attack, and the last thing you want to do is to go there and PSG scores you the first 20 minutes.
Hmm.
We know us now. Once they do that, our boys' head is going to what? Drop. And that's game over.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing is tell your guys, keep things simple. Obviously, try. I would also, like I said, PSG is bad from set pieces. So I will tell my
Mm-hmm.
boys, let's attack them, try to get free kicks, try to get corner kicks. And stop wasting bloody times, try to take all those because all those things you're making them say you can be quick. Because I don't know, as this Arsenal players have forgotten that the referees do allow you to take quick free kick. You can literally drop the ball when PSG say again, just pass, and then the referee gives. It seems Arsenal players have forgotten about that. So every trick in the book, I will tell my players we have to use it because this game is a do or die. Our
Mm-hmm.
season depends on this game. Like you said, I can't imagine myself seeing Manchester United or Tottenham lifting Europa League and they will come and beat us in the Champions League. Imagine that. So our season depends on this game, right? So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
Arteta, tell the boys, I know don't go into the game pressured. Take the game like a normal game. Try to keep it if first half we are
Then I'm
playing
okay.
goalless draw. If we are playing goalless draw first half, there's no problem. Then from like 65, 70th minute, you cannot tweak it because at that point now it's you have to go for the game because I mean you have
Mm-hmm.
to score. And then if you score, I wouldn't tell him to sit back as well. If luckily for us, Arsenal was the first, we score first, I wouldn't sit back. But at the same time, I wouldn't this thing, but I would try to get a second goal though. Because once it's get a
And
second goal, I feel that's gonna kill PSG, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
That will kill hopefully Timber is fit enough to play because uh I
Ben
just
I
White
want
is
him
not
to
actually
yet
enjoy.
fit.
think
I cannot
I actually
imagine that Karashika or whatever his name against Ben White. He will so enjoy Ben White. So hopefully Timber is fit. And then
Yeah.
I
You
don't
have
know my
Partey now.
lineup.
Partey
I
will
think
probably cover up.
we know the lineup is going to probably use. We all know. I think it's probably Martinelli, Saka, and also
Mm.
like I said, I'll be flexible. I will tell Saka something because there's a possibility that Mendes might be tough for Saka.
He's not
Saka
tough.
sometimes
He's
go
not
to the
that tough.
left,
He just has
go
cover.
No, no,
go
he
to
has cover because the first leg they just
Cover.
marked Odegaard and Saka out of the game. They
Yeah.
put 3, 4 people on them because when
yeah. I
each time
understand.
Saka had the ball, he drove, he still created stuff. So I
That's what
don't
I'm saying.
think
So
That
Mendes is
cover
and
is
if
that
you
tough.
allowing
and if you
Mendes to
notice,
be
one
able
of
to
the clear
come back.
chances Saka created for Martinelli was from the left. Remember, it was from the left hand side when he went to the left. The cross he crossed that Martinelli missed. It was from the left hand side. So
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah,
I'll
go on.
tell my
Sorry.
wingers, yo, let us switch up. Once in a while, switch up. Maybe this time around Martinelli, you go on the right and play Mendes. Saka, you go on the left and play Hamkaki. Because one thing about PSG, you can know is that their fullbacks
I,
always attack.
I,
Their fullbacks
I
always
think
attack. So
I think that won't
there's
work.
possibility with spaces in behind them. I know that their midfielders sometimes cover up, but like those wing backs always attack. So that could be another way we can use to slow
I
them
feel
too.
the weak link you should use is more of that Hakimi side, and Martinelli being there is a strong point for you guys because Martinelli has more pace
Yeah,
to
but it
chase
does
the.
Martinelli
The major
is a
thing
guy
you
with
guys
pace
are
without no brain.
underrating,
That's the
the
problem.
major problem you are underrating, which is what killed you in the first game, is you're underrating Donnarumma. It's the same thing that killed Liverpool. It's the same thing that killed Aston Villa. You can have 10 chances with Donnarumma, you probably not score one, or you
Mm.
might score only one. The,
Yeah, but
the guy
that's what we
covers
talk
both
about being
like a
clinical
Lacan.
because Martinelli had chances to score him. Like for instance, the save. Just
Even
imagine Martinelli
Trossard
scored
as
that
well.
chance
You just
before
have to be
halftime.
clinical, which
That's
is
a
the
different
main
ball
thing.
game.
Me and Dr. Tools have been sounding since the last episode. You have to be clinical in front of goal. That's the problem. You will have chances. I don't think Ateta will go there and sit down. Ateta will probably from the first whistle start blazing because now you have party to sit and cover up. So
Hmm.
Declan Rice can push up the ball more for
Yeah,
them to play. So I don't think he's going there to go and sit down. And I don't even advise him to sit down. You can't sit
hmm.
No,
down for the first.
it's not like
Take the
sitting,
ball
but
and
like I
go.
mean, do
At
not
this point,
because
you
for
have
me I
nothing to
feel
lose. You already everybody has seen you as the person going out. You have to go and
Hmm.
attack and score.
Hmm.
yeah, but see
PSG
that's
will
the
also
danger.
have the mindset
That's the
to
danger.
contain you.
To me,
PSG will
that's the
also have the
danger.
mindset to contain you in the first game. So imagine them expecting you to contain and you are already containing. You can't go and be containing. You have
You
to
become
go
a
and
container.
Not like can contain because my fear is that PSG the way PSG moves the
they
ball
can't.
is
You are
so quick.
solid in defense.
Like
You have party now. You can't be playing like as if you don't have party. You have party and you are solid. So party,
yeah, but
Saliba,
this offense, but this
Timber.
I understand party is a kicker, but like
In the midfield, it will
Partey is
help you
just
now. Him and Declan
one
Rice
player
can come
though.
back immediately. Unlike when Declan Rice, Merino, and this guy was there. It was like as if only Declan Rice was doing the whole work.
Yeah, because
All they
Marino
needed
does
to
not have
do
legs
was
and
to
no ball
shift.
awareness.
They
Oh my
needed to
god.
shift Declan Rice to one side and then take the ball to the other side, and they were pressuring you from the other side.
Yeah.
So it's just like to me, I feel like you guys will probably scale through. That's what I feel. I don't know if it's going to be a 2-1 or
But 2-1
Or
goes
like
to
extra
extra
time.
time
how.
now. 2-1 goes to extra time.
No, I mean like 2-1 on aggregate, or if it's going to just
So
be like
Arsenal 2-0. Wow.
I think
That would be
like
a
you might
shocking result.
win
I won't
them.
lie to you.
No,
That would be a
I'm
shocking
very
result.
sincere. I just feel like
I will not be surprised because Arsenal also good away from home.
the
But
only problem you
it's a
are
different
having is
competition
But we've
though.
not played a team like
is
PSG.
most
No offense. Arsenal not
the
played a team
problem
like
is
That's what I'm
that
PSG.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a different
you
competition.
don't have Kai Havertz. That's just the major problem to the
Bro,
matter. If you have Kai
forget
Havertz now,
even if Arsenal had advanced, I don't think it's going to change much.
no, if you have
Because
Havertz, it will make
he
difference
would have done
comparing
the
of
same
being up
thing.
front
It's the
now.
same thing he would have done. The only difference is Havertz would have played up front and maybe Merino
Havertz is
plays between.
more clinical as a striker than Merino. That's what I'm trying to
No,
explain to
no,
you.
no, no,
He
no, no, no,
probably
no,
do
no. They even did a start.
Havertz
Merino
and Merino.
actually, Merino is even more proficient than Havertz. Fun enough.
Because of as a striker, seeing him as a striker, you can't compare Drogba having 10 chances and scoring 8 and Lampard having 4 and scoring 4. You can't compare two of them. A midfielder will only score, will only take a shot when they are certain that it's going to lead to a
Yeah, but it
goal.
doesn't
A
change the fact that
striker
he's clinical, though. It doesn't change the fact
he
that he's
starts, I'm
clinical,
telling you,
though.
starts. That start, looking at stats is fine.
That's true.
But I'm saying
Jude is
like
making Jude
naturally,
make a good
a
point. Yes.
defender will be more pressured. He can also, it's not about even just scoring. He can also break play for Saka to take a shot that will curve. Do you understand? He can
Which
create
is what Merino
confusion there.
was doing. That's
But
what I'm telling you.
Merino
That's why I
won't
made mention
do
that I
that.
don't know why
Merino will
Arteta
rather
changed it
fall.
up.
Merino will most likely fall back to the midfield and only be in the box when like everybody is already there. But
No, but did you watch Merino?
Havertz, we know what
Merino
time
was a
to
good
come.
player when it comes to hold up play. He did that a lot for Arsenal. and he gave us area presence in attack. Like they could lob the ball forward, and Merino could actually attack it because he's good. He's
You
good.
don't
What
need
he's
hold
good
up
is
play.
good with
This
his
one,
head.
you need to move the ball faster. You need to
Yeah,
move the ball faster.
for me, I think one of the positives I saw in the Bournemouth game, at least the first half of the Bournemouth game, was that Rice was very, very forward and he was breaking the lines very well. And Partey was finding him on many occasions, and Trossard was finding him on many occasions. Sorry, Martinelli was finding him on many occasions. That's the positive for me. If you can play like that against PSG, that would be nice. But it needs to be clinical. And a positive of Partey being in the team is that one of Trossard or Martinelli will be on the bench. So at least Ateta can make a change in the 70th or 75th minute. At least
Arteta,
that's
stop
one
making
positive.
stop making
But
predictable changes, please. Arteta, please stop making predictable changes.
that's why it's a system player, a
But that's
system
what
coach,
is
isn't it?
available to
It's
him on
always
the
like
bench
for like,
now.
like for like,
It's
like
Yes,
not
for
and
like
like.
you
he
bring him
and he always
on
and he always make the
then
subs at the time you expect him to make it.
Yeah,
I
70th or
don't think I've seen
75th minute.
Arteta make a sub at halftime. I don't think I've seen him
He
make a
took
sub
out
at halftime.
Ethan Waneri once against
why would he
Brentford
make
or
a
something
sub
like that.
1-0? Why would he make a
Well,
sub
yeah,
at halftime?
and I'm very sure it's because it was one area. I'm talking about like
And
maybe one
do
of
you
your
know
key
the another
guys, maybe
part?
like a
In
Trossard
that
that is not playing well.
PSG had more chances to kill the game from like 80th minute when they made their own
Yeah,
But
I
we
substitution.
know.
know, but we know that Ateta hates people that like that waste
Ball.
possession, right? Ethan will waste possession. Pepe used to waste possession. That's why I didn't like him. He likes Saka because Saka will retain the ball. He like Odegaard because Odegaard, even though Odegaard is not on form,
I
if
like
you
the
hold the
foul.
ball, run, pass back, at least he's not losing the ball, right?
Yeah,
But all these
but
other
that's
players,
that's
they lose the
that's
ball.
my problem with one of these modern coaches. They've taken away this individual brilliance from players. Like you're supposed to allow. It's like when you have a best player, you're supposed to allow him to express himself. Somebody like Saka. Now, I'm not offense, but somebody like Saka should be able to do what he wants to do with the ball because he has
Yes, but
proven
on
to
the
be
other
the
side,
main guy.
sorry.
He has proven
On
to
the
be the
other
main.
hand, right?
Depends on the team. You
Exactly. On
can't
the other
just
hand,
really
we always push up. Like Arsenal always close to the halfway line. So if you go and lose the ball in the
but
final third,
there.
one or two passes, counter attack, they can lob the
You already
ball.
move
Exactly, they can
faster.
lob the ball. That's a goal. So
Because I
if it
remember
becomes system we are playing,
At Chelsea, that was what they did with Hazard. They gave Hazard that free reign that
You can't
you can
compare
do what
Hazard
because no. I'm not
to
comparing them. I'm not comparing them as I'm
but
comparing them
talent-wise.
to
them John Terry, them as Piliqueta, they're not even fast defenders. Were they in the are they close to the halfway line? Was Couture
They
coming to the
went.
halfway line?
they don't know. But
You're
what I'm
already
talking
up
about,
high,
like
so
Hazard
it's
had
tricky.
that brilliance to win the game for them. So what Mourinho did was that Hazard is the only person
Yes,
that
but
has
talk
experience
about
in
two
this team.
different coaches and two different style of football. With the style we are playing, it's like we need to hold position. We can't afford to waste chance. Otherwise,
It's
game over.
back
You are
to your
saying that
strength.
nowadays that our players are tired and not on form. Once the opposition team gets it, but what are they doing? They try to lob Raya because they know Raya is far up in like close
Which,
high up the
which to
pitch
me, which to
basically.
me is a big problem. And that's I don't know. Arteta has to find a way to be flexible
Yeah.
too. That's like you have to be
You
to
just have
beat
to buy a player
to
that
beat
is that
Enrique. He
like
has to come up with something that Enrique is not expecting. That's what I feel. That's the only way Arsenal can beat
We know
PSG.
what to expect. I'm sure he Enrique knows what to expect too.
the main thing is just be clinical.
Yeah.
Chances will fall. Be
Like I
clinical.
said, I think Arsenal should target set pieces
Chances will fall.
because
You
the
be
only set piece
clinical.
we
No,
had
they
that I
won't
can
take the
remember
ball.
that we played into their box, we scored from it. The only set piece
It
I
was
remember that we
offside.
played into their box, we scored for it from it.
But set pieces, corner kick. The way we play corner kick, Donnarumma is going to be sweeping everything because we play our corner kicks like on top of the keeper. But Donnarumma will just go and collect it. you know,
And we
so
waste so much
that's why
time.
I'm not
And
going
that we
to.
waste so much time. That's another problem. That's not takes almost 1 minute to take a corner.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's
we'll
I
see.
like.
We'll see how it goes. And then let's be before we slowly round up. Barcelona, Inter Milan. Who do you think is going to make it?
That's a very tough. Very. I won't lie to you. That's a very very tough. And I said it that it was going to be a tough game.
It's
And people were writing off Inter. I was like, nah nah nah. Inter is a very 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 solid team. I was shocked that they considered 3 goals. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I wasn't
They
surprised
scored
that they
three.
scored. They were able to take advantage of Barca's highlight because they have the attackers for that. Now they're going
Mhm.
to Italy. I think it's a different ball game. They rested their whole team this last weekend. Itabla literally rested their whole squad for this for this past weekend. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a tough one.
PSG
But
rested again PSG rested as
yeah,
well. By the way.
but at least PSG had won the league. But Inter hasn't won the league. They are still
Mhm.
competing with Napoli, and they were still
Mhm.
able to rest their full squad. So
Mhm.
to me, I don't know. It's going to be a tough. I see it going to extra time to be honest with you, and maybe penalties. I don't think it's. I don't see the game ending in 90 minutes. So I think Inter might win it in either extra time or penalties. I go for some reason I think Inter is going to the finals.
Wow. I just know that
That's
anyone that wins that on that side is one that's going to win the Champions League. I don't think watching the way Inter
I
and
don't think
Barca
Arsenal
played,
can play
right?
any of those two teams. To be honest with you,
I don't think PSG can play either of them.
either
no,
of them.
actually, PSG can actually take advantage
So
of Barca's high line. To be honest with you, they can. PSG can take advantage of
Mm.
Barca's high line. It's Inter
Baka
Milan. They
will,
might not be
But
Baka
able
will
Barca will
force
finish them as well. Barca will take
Baka will
advantage
force
of their
them to play a
of them
different
as well.
game.
Their defensive,
to.
Baka will
yeah,
force them to play a different game. They will have to
that's
go
Barca
true.
is
defensive.
forceful.
Baka will force them to
PSG,
go defensive more than what they
You
are
think
playing.
so?
Yeah.
yeah,
And
But
you
they
can't
didn't
give
force Inter Milan
you
to go
can't give
defensive.
Yamal and you can't give Yamal and Rafinha that high that your forwards going for your back your full backs going forward. If you try it
Mm-mm.
before you come back, your mid is gone. The only reason why Inter is able to
Then Pedri, then.
accomplish what they accomplish is two reasons: Chesney being there, and two, Lewandowski not being there. If Lewandowski was there, they would have chances to.
No,
There are
but
chances
Chelsea
that
has
you
been
know
like
that
their good luck
Lewandowski will
though.
carry.
Chelsea has been like their good
Eh?
luck in Barca.
That's what
Chelsea has
is their good luck. But I'm saying like conceding, he concedes a lot of goals. Go and check almost all his matches. But that's probably because of the
yeah,
highlights,
but
which I'm not
yeah,
having
but
any
it's not mostly his fault now. The
highlight.
defender, look
But
at for instance now, look at
Lewandowski,
the
Lewandowski
was it the
being in
first goal or
that
the second
forward,
goal?
Lewandowski being that forward changes a lot of pressure, both on the defense and the way they score. There were chances, drop ball, they've dropped the ball that you know that all Lewandowski will just take one boom inside the net.
And
Ferran
don't
Torres
forget, actually,
can't
Inter
do it.
Milan got a goal cancelled. Toenail, this toenail got of his toenail. Inter would have
I'm
won
Mm,
not
I
that
think
saying
game
that was
because
it will
BS.
be a tough game,
it was
but
it was the
remember,
guy's
Baka
boot.
was just coming
Not
off.
even toenail,
Baka
his
was
boot.
coming out
Sorry,
from
maybe
a
wearing long
Clasico.
boots.
Mm.
That's
Baka
what
was
saved
coming from
Barca.
a Clasico. A Clasico 120 minutes, so you
But it
expect
doesn't matter.
fatigue in that
That
game.
doesn't matter. Everybody had the game before that weekend. That's not an excuse.
Well,
Sorry.
easy now. They played 120 minutes against Madrid
Yeah,
in
but
the
nobody.
cup
They were
final.
leading. Barca was leading that game when they against Madrid.
They
They were leading
don't, they
Madrid.
weren't leading. They didn't lead the game.
They were leading Madrid
Which
one
one?
zero before Madrid came back 2-1. Forgotten?
I
It
think
was
the
like
points
8
that
minutes,
Jude was making
80
is that
something. They scored and
they played
entered extra time.
120 minutes. They were not that tired, so basically they have a lot of energy. I think that's what Jude was trying to say for
So it's not
for
that easy.
against PSG. But yeah, I think
It's
Inter will go
open.
through as
It's
well.
open, but that side looks like the side that is going to win Champions League. This
Yeah,
I
other
That's
side
what I feel
is like
because
yeah, because I was thinking that
it's God have mercy.
and that's another reason why I'm a little bit of
You are
skeptical
going to be
about Arsenal
worse
going to the
playing
final because
Inter. So
I'll no
imagine
offense,
beating
so
PSG
I'll prefer Arsenal to
and
lose in the
playing
semi
Inter.
final than final because final I'll be so mad. I'll prefer Arsenal to
No,
go
that's
out
why I
now.
want you to lose. I don't want you to lose.
Let the pain just be
no,
that
no,
they're not
please
the
let's
final.
no, go and lose in the place.
Lose in the final. I want you to lose in the
Yeah,
final. It's very
Yeah,
please.
simple.
I don't want to lose in semi. I
I
don't.
can't lose.
No, no,
I
no, no,
can't
no,
lose
no,
So
two
no,
that
no.
times.
you have
I
hope.
can't
That's failure
look.
now.
He
Look,
doesn't want to
That's
lose.
it.
I
That's
they
it.
learned.
See the trophy I'm walking past it.
Already.
No. I don't want that, please. See the trophy I'm
Let
walking
me tell
past it.
you why. They look.
He doesn't want you to laugh.
The length of the banter from semi-final is longer than the length of the banter from final.
But it
Okay,
doesn't make any
final is
sense.
end
Even
of May.
if Man U wins the Europa League, it changes nothing. They will still go to battle
Look,
us if we don't win the Champions League
I
or
yes, I
Tottenham.
know, but still,
That's why he
look,
says it's better
I can't face.
than the
God,
Barca in
if
semi-final.
like I said, you guys will not see me. You guys will not be seeing me for long till the next start of next season.
No, I can't.
Where the game
I
is
remember
go.
I was younger in 2006, but that pain, bro, it took me time to get
At
over that
least
pain. I don't want to go through that pain again.
at the final, the league would have been over. So you don't have any banter again. So
No,
before
no,
you
no, no.
see
I can't.
someone
I don't think I
again,
can
we are
stand that.
laughing.
The only person who benefits getting to the final is Arteta because if he gets to the final, even if he loses, he'll say, "Oh, I took Arsenal back to the Champions League final for the first time since 2006." To me, that's the only person he
He can
benefits.
he can say it now for semi-final. It took us since 2009. He can say it at any
Ah,
point. So,
it'll be a funny game. Oh.
anyways, prediction. Let's do quickly predictions and then we round up from the. Oh, before we even round up, predictions first. I'm thinking for Arsenal PSG, it's going to be PSG 2-0.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with opposite you and be optimistic and
Mm.
forward thinking and say
We,
Arsenal wins 2-3-1.
oh,
But
I
I
hope
don't think PSG is not going to score us now. I don't think PSG. I think
that's
PSG is going to score us
That's
3-1. I
nice.
go for 3-1.
I stand there too. PSG will not score us now. PSG is going to score us now, but I think it's going to be a 2-1. I'm leaning towards 2-1. Then maybe an extra time. I don't know what's going to happen in extra time.
I don't even want
I
to
just
go to penalties because I don't trust Ryan penalties as well.
I just know
Yeah.
Arsenal will go through.
And
If it goes
Donnarumma
to
is a
penalty,
very
let's forget
he's
it.
skilled when it
If it
comes to
goes to
penalties.
penalty, forget it. If
He's
it goes
skilled.
to
He's
the
skilled in penalties because it's so long.
As-
It's so
it's so
long.
tall and
even without Donnarumma, our players don't know how to take penalties like that. So
that's another
you know,
thing.
Yeah.
Remember,
So
it
yeah,
was
I wouldn't be
at a
confident
Monday.
in penalties. I wouldn't be confident at all.
exactly.
So imagine Donnarumma.
So that's why
They just
I
stand
just
like
go for
this.
three. Let's just
I
win it in
just
90 minutes, I beg. 90 minutes. I don't want my heart to be pumping more. 90 minutes is
two
fine.
Hmm.
extra time. I want to see the extra time.
Please, Manchester United, Bilbao prediction. Start from Jude.
Probably be about
We
2-1.
didn't do we didn't do Barcelona
At
again.
Old Trafford,
That's what I think.
What do you say?
okay,
Bilbao beat you?
About
two
2-1.
one.
Ah,
But he still wins on aggregate now, so it's still like 4-2 aggregate now.
I don't trust those
4-1.
guys.
Oh,
4-2.
4-2, yeah,
Like
4-2.
2-1, then 4-2.
Yeah. What's your
I'm
prediction, Johnny
I'm
Boy?
I'm going to be brave and say Bilbao 3-0. They go to extra time. Bilbao wins, scores, and wins 4
Enemies.
4-0. This is my heart talking, that's
Why
what
you
I'm
have
going
to
to
give
I'm
me
going to say.
that scare? That scare.
I like
That's
I'm going to follow your heart and say Bilbao 5-2.
like
And then you get to extra time and then they win.
Yes, yes.
Because you
Let's
want we
go,
want
Bilbao.
we want lots of goals, right? That's what you said in the
everybody
Inaki,
wants
prediction.
Inaki
Nigeria.
Williams, Inaki Williams can't be poor for the 2 games. No way. He can't be. He can't
But
be poor
yeah.
for the 2 matches. No way.
Backup
Johnny
PSG.
Boy, you're telling us about a rule change that is going to come out like next season.
Yeah. So I was reading a new change that's coming from next season. Apparently, it says, let me read it out here. So it says a new rule. So one of the big changes for goal and it pertains to goalkeepers. So from next season, if a goalkeeper holds the ball for more than 8 seconds, the other team is going to get a corner kick. And when I was reading this rule, the first person that came to my mind is Arsenal's goalkeeper David Raya. So I don't know what you guys think about the rule. Do you think
Is
it's
it a
it's
FIFA
fair?
rule or EPL rule?
IFAB, so it's FIFA. IFAB is FIFA, so FIFA rule.
Oh, okay.
But we don't, what
Okay.
I don't know is if it's going to be because Premier League like to form. They are separate from. They will always try to form their own. I don't know if they're going to implement it next season because every other league has
Hmm.
this what do you call the offside rule that
Semi automated.
yeah. But Premiership is starting next season. The winner when they would have done it last season.
Yeah, of which they're not
So
even doing it well. Because
so
Champions League, semi automated is straight away. In the Premier
yes,
League, after like
exactly.
5 minutes, we will see the image. So maybe
Exactly.
they're
So
the one still drawing
I
the
don't.
line. Who knows?
My own is I don't know if Premiership is going to be met, but that's the new rule coming from next season. So I don't know if
Okay.
Premiership is going to. I don't know what you guys think about
Well,
that rule. Is it fair or
please, it's not fair, I beg, because when you have like winning 1-0 and they're giving you like 8 minutes additional time, you want your keeper to at least kill some seconds. So that is not fair. That is not fair. I know everything leads to more goals, but also consider the players.
yeah? But
That's what
FIFA
I say
wants
about
FIFA
that.
wants the ball to be in play more times than of not being played. So that's I think that's why they're trying to reduce.
We the fans, we don't care. We
Eight
don't care about
seconds is
that.
too much now. 8 seconds is like too short. I
Eight,
feel
sec- eight
like
seconds
maybe
is not long. Oh, it's short actually. It's
Yeah,
eight
that's
seconds.
what
seconds
he's
is
saying.
short. Before you hold the ball, think one or two. If it's high pressing game, you would not even thought
Yeah, you
anything.
kick it out now. You kick it out. Is it
You just
compulsory
kick
Before
kick
out
out?
there.
Onana, before
You're
Onana,
affecting.
we put the ball down.
You're
Go and
Onana will
affecting
dust
caress
his
the
our.
ball.
boots.
He will caress the
Yeah,
ball.
exactly. Go and
So
dust the
now
Take
it's
boot
it out
and
just
for
send
to come
everybody to
take,
the
and
take the ball for
front.
dinner first. Take it for dinner.
Onana will drop ball and then do it like this and go back to
Exactly.
the poster.
And then clean his boots
And
and
then
then
clean
now
his
come
boots
Yeah,
front and
and
go
then
back
come
again.
back. So now every keeper will have to count 8 seconds in their head, or there
exactly.
won't be any ball playing keeper again. They will just be shooting out. Everybody will change their style of play, shoot out,
Because every goalkeeper now is trying to be a ball playing goalkeeper.
they send Harry Maguire to the center to go and hustle for the ball first.
Hmm.
We'll start from there.
Right.
Ah,
So yeah, just for the sake of for the sake of clipping, right? How would you like this week to pan out in Europe? I will start. Chelsea drop out of the like they lose and they
how?
knocks out of the
Forward.
Champions League.
It's not
To me,
easy.
they're even the shortest out
Bodo
of everybody.
Glimt. I know, but yeah, that's what I would like to do. Bodo
Uh,
Glimt knock out Tottenham.
That's close.
Bilbao
Yes, that one is close.
knockout
What is it?
knockout
That one maybe
Manchester
like
United.
20%, maybe 20%.
Not visible.
And then Arsenal by miracle makes it to the final. That's how I would like the week to pan
So
out.
if
Jude,
Arsenal
what
goes
do
to
you
final,
think?
who would you prefer to play in the final? Barcelona
Well,
or
it
Inter?
doesn't matter. Anyone we meet are going
Everybody
to
meet.
slap us.
Send it back.
Any-
Send it back home.
So what goes to your head? Who are you going to? Who would you choose? Who would you prefer? Based
I
on
want to
who
see
person you
Barcelona.
Baka.
think Arsenal might have a better chance to beat. Maybe you say we're not beating, but
Baka.
who do you think Arsenal have a
Barcelona.
better chance?
Baka.
Barcelona.
I think so too.
Baka.
Barcelona.
I actually think so too. Yes.
Inter will do the same thing PSG did to you, and it will be
Exactly.
Inter is
painful.
even
Or
worse.
they'll do to us what they
Inter will not come
No,
out
they
at
that's
will
what
do
all.
they'll do worse.
Inter
They
will
play
not
the
come
same
out.
style of play and they'll do worse because they are good at it.
Inter
They
will
are
not come
really
out.
good at
Inter
it.
will not come out,
And
they will
see
and they
do
that.
to
don't
us
have
what they
one
did to
chance.
us
And
in
the
the
other
first
part is
leg.
that
Yes.
the problem with Inter is if they score you one, they're just gonna lock up and then be
Straight
Yes.
up.
targeting the second goal. Once
Hmm.
they get that
Straight
second
up.
goal, just forget it.
Because Inter
You are
plays
not
three
seeing
five
it.
two.
It is just be
Inter plays three five two.
die hard 10 man behind the line. You don't see anything
When
again.
they're defending, it's five defenders. So they play 3-5 to Inter.
Because if they get into that final, anybody they meet, that final will be more important to them than winning the Scudetto. I
Yes.
feel
Yeah,
like
because
that
I don't
Champions
know
will
why.
take it very, very serious, and they
Yes,
will
I think
probably
so.
play to their life.
Yeah. So how would you like the week to pan out, Jude?
I don't want Arsenal to lose. That's the problem. I really don't want Arsenal to lose. I want
Then
Arsenal to
predict an Arsenal win. Then
And now,
yes,
so
go
I
on.
want
give
Arsenal to
us
win.
what you want to
Chances
happen.
are slim. I'm trying to be more realistic. Chances are slim, but Arsenal to win, Man U qualify, Tottenham lose. That's how we play
So you
Tottenham.
can play Bodo Klimt.
So
Look
we'll
at this
that please.
criminal.
I've beaten
Criminal.
them before. I can try again to beat them again.
And Chelsea to win, obviously, right?
Chelsea is obviously winning.
Chelsea,
There's no way
Chelsea is the shortest,
if
like
they
I
look
said.
like this.
That's what they're
Just like
already in the final.
Maresca.
Because there's no way that is it Dos Jaran, what they call them, is scoring 4 goals in
I
Stamford
don't know how
Bridge.
to pronounce
And they
it.
are
Yeah.
playing in Betis instead of this thing. You
But
play top
Stamford
four.
Bridge is not as strong anymore, Sha. But
Yeah, but they're
anyways,
not
and Johnny
Chelsea
Boy,
not
how would you like?
Chelsea is not conceding 4 goals, Sha.
How true? How would you like the week to pan out?
I mean, to me, like I said, Chelsea to me is already in the final. So Chelsea in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham is still shaky. So I would say Bodo Glimt in the final,
Mm-hmm.
Bilbao in the final, Arsenal in
Eh?
the final, and Barcelona in the
Yeah.
final.
So you don't want
Okay.
all English final. Ah, wicked.
We should only the London teams should be in the final. Arsenal and Chelsea.
Ah,
That's it.
why?
Tottenham is a London team.
And I was like, for that reason,
No, no,
only the team
at
that
least
are in
Tottenham.
London should win a cup.
Tottenham is going out with bonus.
Everyone should go to there should no cup in London, cup pride, parade or pride in London. This is it. Only the teams outside of London should win.
No,
I know Chelsea win
man.
that cup. They will complete Europe. They have won Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League.
Yeah. So
No
you might
upstairs.
as well go that next 2 seasons now. Just go that next season and win the start from there.
You mean Man U? You guys were lucky.
No,
Remember,
Arsenal.
you're supposed to be there. If you're not supposed to be there actually because you won the FA Cup, that's why you even came to Europa League. So you're not even supposed to be there actually. Sorry.
Now we are going to
Use
deal with
use
them
back
again.
use backdoor to enter Europa
They'll
League.
say
Now you want
back,
use backdoor to
they'll say
enter
back,
Champions League. It won't
they'll
work.
say back in
It
Don't
won't.
Europa.
It
mind
won't
them.
work. We can't use
They'll
backdoor
say
two times.
Europa.
No, you can't
So
use
how
backdoor
would
two
you
times.
feel if I use that back door enter Champions League and win the Champions League? How would you feel?
That one is not happening now.
Scenario, scenario.
Just like the Europa is not happening. I mean,
At least this new format will expose you guys in Champions League.
I'm happy.
You
I'm
guys,
happy that you're hating because your hate keeps propelling Amorim. So keep hating him. That's what I need. I need that kind of
that's why he
hate.
lost.
Hate that
That's why he lost to
you hate
Brentford today now.
Amorim will progress. All the teams you called, Inakio, what's the other one? The Sociedad,
Nico.
Ozama. I mean, there's no team you not called. Leon. The other part was I was sitting beside him against Leon. How come I didn't go? My spirit is stronger. That Leon game was my most terrific game in Manchester
But you
United
didn't believe in your
history.
team now. He's talking, but he didn't believe in United. He already gave up when United were leading 4-2. He already gave up. When they were
I
losing
gave
4, he
up
gave
now
up.
because how would you be leading 2-0 from
And that's the
nowhere?
reason why that's the
4-2.
reason why I have hope.
Wow.
I have hope
And with 10 man
for
down, though. 10
Bilbao.
man down, they are beating you 4-2.
There you have it, guys. You guys should please let us know what you think in the comment section below. While you're scrolling down, please press the like button, subscribe if you're new or yet to do so, and like I said, pray for the Arsenal and hate on the Manchester United. You already know. Okay, until next week, where I may or may not be around. Stay safe, and have a nice week, people. Peace.
Glory, glory,
Thank
Man
you, guys.
United.
Let's go, Bilbao. Inaki Williams can have two bad games.